Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here on BGTV. Coming to you, Anas, first, you said that this, year is a record year for big philanthropy. Could you tell us more about that, and could you also take us through the key highlights of the list?
I think, so many hold it? Yeah, so this year has been a record year because we have had 25 new entrants. The total donation in the list has grown up by 60%, and of which in the total donation, almost 70% is private personal donation. That's been fantastic. Then I did mention 25 new entrants. We kept the same threshold as last year. It's about 5 crores. And some of the interesting things that have come up is if you do a 5-year comparison, right? Number of individuals who've donated 100 crores plus, that's grown from 5 years back to about 14 this year. Number of individuals who donated about 50 crores, that's also gone up by 100%. So overall, if you ask, philanthropy is going across the board. So 7 women philanthropists. Hurun India is in the top 10. It's interesting that we don't have a women representation in the top 10 wealthiest people, but we have a women in the top 10 most generous Indians. So it's overall, it's a fantastic year from an Indian philanthropy context. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what was the highlight for you, Naghma?
For me, the highlight was, honestly, I'm very excited to see Rohini make it in both lists. She's a 100% personal giver. She is topping the women list. She is also in the top 10 list of individual givers in the EdelGive Hurun philanthropy list. I think some exceptional benchmarks of good giving. Secondly, for me, as causes, to see arts and culture listed number 1, a big signal to the country that this is important and this needs, to be done. To see, ecosystem, to see environment as causes. These are causes that show maturity of giving also. Not taking away from the fact that education, healthcare remain causes in India that are worthy of being supported, but it shows that independent thinking in philanthropy has begun, and that for me has been very inspiring.
Absolutely, got that. And Anas, for you, it's been a while in this industry, and it's the 10th year of ranking. So I want to understand from you any emerging trends that you are seeing when it comes to Indian philanthropy.
India is witnessing one of the biggest wealth creation stories. That's very evident. And where do these wealth come from? One is traditional family businesses. Second is new age startups. I would even call Infosys and Wipro in that category. That those breed of founders. Then you have the professional managers. We're going to witness the biggest intergenerational wealth transfer. So professional managers are going to be playing a forefront. And also fourth is the source of capital, which is basically your venture capital and private equity fund managers. They're going to create wealth, and possibly there's going to be wealth creation there too. And these 4 arcs are also going to be contributing the biggest, what are some of the biggest they're going to be the biggest philanthropists in the country as well. So that is one change that I'm seeing in the 10 years. I've seen all these categories slowly expanding over the last few years. And one significant category I missed is also the NRIs who were creating wealth outside of the country but giving back in the country, like M.A. Yusuf Ali of Lulu, who's donated more than 100 crores last year, right? In the 4th category, we have Prashant Prakash and his wife Amrita. They've debuted the list for the first time. So you've got all these arcs of stakeholders increasing the generosity. So over the 10 years, this is one big change. If I may add just one point here to give you a comparison between India and China, that could be very relevant. In China in 2013, when the GDP was 8 trillion, the threshold to enter the top 100 was 14 crores. In India, 11 crores. In India is 14 crores, right? Now, China's GDP is almost 20 trillion. The threshold to enter the top 10 in China is about 1,500 crores. India is only 150 crores, right? There are 4 individuals who have donated more than $1 billion US in China. India, possibly we have 2 who have donated over a lifetime of $1 billion US. So then in China, the number 1 donor has donated about 17,000 crores. India is 2,000. So what I'm trying to tell you here is wealth creation perspective, value creation perspective, India is possibly has a lot of catching up to do. When we do that full catch up, the numbers that are going to come in terms of philanthropy is going to be, we'll just be an absolute role model for the rest of the world. Yeah.
And any directional shifts or any emerging patterns that you have seen?
Even though the average age of the giver is still 68, according to the list, I'm actually seeing younger philanthropists, people who've started thinking earlier about what they'd like to do, where they'd like to influence. That's number one. Because of the background of wealth creators coming in, also thinking longer term, more strategic, more impact. That's also another trend that I see. The questions have changed. It's not about doing good, it's about lasting impact, which we also call sustainability. Sustainability of what we do. We are a few miles away from a true collaboration where society and business will collaborate in a way where both bring their best and don't do what the other does better. But I think we are on our way. We are better than we were 10 years ago when CSR made its advent. And I think we are on our way to better behavior as the years come by.
Absolutely, got that. And lastly, any sector that you feel wherein there is a need for philanthropy to step up further, because we talked about education, we talked about sustainability, arts and culture, but any sector?
Oh, so my disappointment is gender, women empowerment are not out there. There is no spotlight, and we cannot assume that all of this covers women and any other gender as well. About time we think of disability as a very important cause in a country like India. Mental health as a very, very important cause. They have not made it to the top 10 in terms of causes, but yeah, we live on hope, and it's our job to encourage. Yeah.
Naghma is the best to compliment on that. I think I think one definitive thing that the younger breed of wealth creators are they're taking on more global problems like climate and so on. So I think that's one sectoral shift that I would say from a causes perspective. But like I said, we're a teenager when it comes to history of nations. All these causes on the top 10 are very relevant for India, at least for the next 10-15 years. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Naghma. Thank you, Anas.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.